Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good, good. Okay. I think we're in, so it's always weird because there's always like a lag or a delay or something.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
Definitely.
all right, I'll just making sure it's showing up on the page here.
Yes,
Hi, everybody.
hello, hello, hello.
We are live and ready to go. We're just confirming here that you guys are able to see us here. So, all right. Do you see us live on your end, Brenda, or no?
Yeah, yep.
Oh, we're Gucci? Okay. Oh, we're just confirming here that you guys are okay. All right, I see it. All right, we're good. I just want to pull up the chat so I can see.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa. Hello, everybody. And this is Broom Closet Talks Live. We're back for another week and insights, and we will be doing readings, of course, as always, but today's topic is one that it actually came up last week when we went live, and the topic is of soulmates and twin flames. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And Brenda, I know you have a lot to say about it. I have a lot to say about it. And
I do.
Yeah, because I think it's something that has been really put out there in the mainstream. Nowadays, you see it out there. Everyone talks about this twin flame or having a soulmate. I think essentially it started with a soulmate. Soulmate is more popular and the term has been around longer than twin flame, but now twin flame has like skyrocketed into like it's everywhere. And do you know the artist Machine Gun Kelly?
Yes.
He actually made a song recently called Twin Flame.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So do you think that's because the generation from now, the new group, you think that maybe their awakening to spirituality is causing them to interpret a good connection as a twin flame connection?
I'm hoping. Essentially, that would be my hope, that the new generation is awakening and they're learning about twin flame and soul connections and what that entails and what, how that helps them to grow, body, mind, and spirit, Right. But I feel like a lot of it also is the romanticizing of it, like your ultimate twin flame. This is the person, this is your other half. Right. This is a person that completes you, and all that stuff, all the, the whole Titanic, I'll never let go, Jack, ideology, that whole mess. I think that's where it starts. I think it's the romantic aspect of it.
Right.
And as you research more, you find out that there's twin flame stages, right? Then they talk about union, the union of hearts and the union of souls, or twin flames, twin souls.
Right.
So, yeah, so I think there's a lot that has been put out there, a lot of information out there. And yeah, so I think that's why it's become such a mainstream subject matter. It's kind of like with smudging or saging. Now everybody knows about sage, right? Oh, yeah. Right? I know this sounds weird, and it's like off topic, but it's like, everybody knows that sage is cleansing, or you cleanse your space with sage. Now, on the romantic side of it, everybody knows about twin flame now. So it's like kind of that mainstream, trendy ideology that has kind of gotten entangled in it,
Right.
So I just feel like there's a lot of misinformation out there too, and that's with everything.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot of misinformation. We're going to see a lot of just people trying to, I guess, impose their ideas about it, or what they establish as truth concerning it. What this is here, guys, and I'm just going to say this, in general, not even a disclaimer, but just so you guys can understand that what we do here is we leave an open platform for discussion. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do here. We, in exchange, we share insights, ideas, and we want to hear from you, the audience. And we like you to share your stuff and your thoughts on things. We're live right now, so whatever you guys want to share about Twin Flames, Soulmates, by all means, if you feel comfortable, drop your comments in the chat section, because I just feel like there's so much to be said about this. So,
and definitely a lot to cover. We're going to try to cover as much as we can.
So Brenda, how were you introduced to Twin Flame?
I had a friend who I honestly thought that we had that type of connection because we mirrored each other with our differences and our past, our past lives. But twin flame connection is not like everybody thinks. Not always you wind up with your twin flame.
Yeah, that part.
Right. And a lot of people don't understand that. Oh, he just wasn't for you, or he just wasn't, your soulmate connection. No, he's my twin flame, which is the reason why we're not together. Mm-hmm. It's kind of difficult to be with someone that mirrors you. It feels comfortable, I'm not gonna lie, but that person acts like you do, thinks like you do, in so many different aspects. And I don't know if I could live with me and then me again.
Right. And I think that's the hardest part, right? And that's the thing. Again, like I was saying earlier about the romanticizing of it. Like everybody's like, in essence, yes, it's a beautiful thing. This is a person that mirrors you, body, mind, and spirit. This is a person who you have one of the deepest soul contracts with, right? And it seems like such a divine thing, and it is, and at the root of it. But then there's the karmic aspects. And that's where, like you said, that's where the things get messy, like, do I really want to face be with someone like that mirrors me in every way, shape, and form? And you touched on something that's really that I think is important. I think a lot of times, many of us get caught up in that trap of, thinking that the end all be all of this is, whether it's a soulmate or a twin flame, is union, like you're meant to be with this person for the rest of your life. And somehow, some way, by free will or by, the universe's will, it doesn't happen, a sense of failure occurs.
Right.
Like I failed, or I'm not working hard at it, I'm not reaching union. And I noticed, like, I had, gotten caught up in that frenzy early on when I learned about twin flame, right? So you said something too, and this is exactly how I learned about it. I was reading a book like about 15 years ago about past lives. The author's name was Ted Andrews. Understanding Past Lives, that was the name of the book, right? So in the book, he talks about soul contracts and different soulmate connections, right? So he talked about karmic soulmates, right? And these are people that are usually in for a brief time, but there's very strong karma attached to it, like very strong lessons and growth involved, even though it could be a brief encounter. Then there's the soulmates, general, according to him, general soulmates, where that last a bit longer. And general, soulmates as a whole can be platonic. They could be of the same sex. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic in nature. So these people come in and they evoke the growth process and the lessons and things of that nature. And they stick around a little longer. They could be relatives, like people that are essentially your soul family, whether you're, exact relatives, it could be friends, things of that nature. And then you get into the twin soul, right? So he talks, he put, an art, whole thing about the twin soul, or the, twin flame. That's another term that they, give it, twin soul, twin flame. So I read up on it and I was like, wow, this is really deep. Like this is, like you said, this is a person who mirrors you. This is the person that you have the deepest, if not longest, soul contract with. There is heavy karma, but there's also extreme growth. The process is to ascend body, mind, and spirit, raising consciousness. This person mirrors that, that journey with you and things of that nature. So I was like, super fascinated by this, right? So I was like, oh, I never heard the term. Of course, I've heard soulmates before, but I never heard of twin flame or twin soul. So, me, I'm the type of person, when I get put onto something new, I guess it becomes a bit of an obsessive thing where I want to like research and I want to know more, that's the Aquarian in me. I like to know about things, and I want to research and find out as much information as I can. So that's what I did. And I came across some really good books. Like there is one of the oldest prints. And guys, all the books and all the things and info is going to be down below. So, all the books I read and all that stuff, I'm going to let you guys in on those links. The first book I read was actually printed in the 70s. It was called Soulmates and Twin Flames by Elizabeth Clare Prophet.
Wow.
Yeah, and she actually studied Alan Kardec. So I know a good amount about Alan Kardec. That's your dude. That's your dude. I remember in one of her chapters, she mentions the process of spiritism and channeling and the teachings of Alan Kardec in her book as well. Yeah. So I guess the concept of the pull that you feel energetically with a soulmate or a twin flame is something that is essentially you're channeling energy. So that is, under that umbrella. So she talks about that in the book, I remember. And it was a really good book, really insightful. But like I said, it was printed a very long time ago. So I feel like there has been a lot more that happened, the evolution of us as a people since then, you know what I mean? Because that was kind of the baby boomer era going into, the Generation X era. Like this is like a whole new generation.
Right. So,
but it was a really good book. And she also talked about the violet flame. I don't know if you ever heard of that term. The violet flame is something that's associated with soulmates or twin flames. And, it's an energy where you connect with the source of your contract with this person. And it's like a mutual healing, and you heal.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So you could go on, guys, we're on YouTube now, but you guys can go like on YouTube and there's like a whole bunch of information on the violet flame and violet flame meditations, violet flame channeling. Well, to put it simply, it was Elizabeth Clare Prophet that had brought that to the table during the 70s with the whole soulmate twin flame stuff. All right, so we got the chat is lighting up.
Yeah.
Hey peoples. Love you too, Pootie. Hello, Angelina. Melissa, yes. Hey guys, what's up? Yeah. So that was one book I read. And then Many Lives, Many Masters, Brian Weiss.
Oh, yes.
And The Journey of the Soul by Brian Weiss.
Yeah.
Like, because this was around a time where I was like really into like past life regression and learning about past lives. So like I said, this is how essentially I was introduced to Twin Flame and what that was all about. And at the time, like you said, I had a connection as well that I felt really resonated with the ideology of it. Like, yeah, like everything they described is exactly what I was feeling. And as far as this connection, yeah. And but I learned.
And again, like you said, just to recap, twin flame energy is not just a lover. It could be a friend, a sibling, and just about anyone, really. So it's not just a lover, because people also tend to think that it's always a lover situation, but we have twin energy is a relationship energy. It doesn't matter who it is. And that's something that I want to elaborate on and recap. So we're, right now we're elaborating more on like the twin flame lover, but it could be anyone. It really can.
Yeah.
And everybody out there has a twin flame. Everyone. So yeah. I really don't want to hear anyone say, "Oh, I've never met mine. I don't have one."
There was somebody just commented when he's like, I don't know if I believe I haven't met my soulmate or twin flame, but no, you've definitely had soulmates for sure.
Oh yeah.
Like if you feel like you haven't met the twin flame or you haven't encountered that energy, then yeah, but you've definitely had, if you've been living on this earth for X amount of years, you've definitely had a soulmate connection. Like I said, whether it be, people like you consider soulmate family, like your friends, your relatives. I mean, we all have soul connections.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I absolutely agree. Everyone has soul connections. Okay. Like if you felt you haven't encountered the twin flame connection, then you probably haven't. You know what I mean? And that's the important thing, Brenda, like, and that's something that I feel also needs to be touched on. And I've seen this time and time again. And this is where it gets dangerous. And this is where I feel people get led astray, is when people go to certain readers that claim that this is your twin flame, or they can tell you that they could tell you who your twin flame is and how to reunite. And they give you this, formula, right?
And I call bullshit.
Right? Yeah, exactly. I call bullshit on it too, because it's like, twin flame and soul energy, soulmate connections is a very individualized experience. You know what I'm saying? Like at best, a reader could give you insight to the connection and, the karmic aspects of it, if you will. But to tell them, yes, this is your twin. Yes, this is your soulmate. Yes, you're going to reunite with this person if you do X, Y, and Z. You know what I'm saying? Or if you light this candle, or you make this doll, you throw some cemetery dirt behind your arm. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I feel like, not that I'm mocking, I'm not, guys. I'm just joking, okay? I'm just saying that if you have encountered that kind of soliciting, like, when you're on IG, how many times you're on IG, they're like, oh, your soulmate, I could help you reunite with your soulmate.
Even better.
Right? You get these unsolicited messages.
Even better. Have you now seen the cartoon artist that draws a picture of your soulmate or twin flame?
Oh boy. Just when you thought you heard it all and seen it all, there's always something new to the table.
The picture, you don't have to wonder he has dark hair, tall and handsome with brown eyes, wears checkered shirts. Do you know how many guys are tall, dark, and handsome and wears checkered shirts?
I mean, really? That's like a whole ass demographic of men. Like, are you kidding me right now? Like,
for real? Can you go a little deeper? I'm looking for Waldo right now. What the hell?
It just astounds me. And, and there's so many of us out there, you know, my heart goes out to everybody. I'm a hopeless romantic at heart. I am, Brenda. And I think, honestly, that's why when I was introduced to this twin flame concept, you know, when I just dove in head first because I'm such a romantic by nature. You know what I mean? And I did actually have a connection on that deep of a level with someone, and I didn't understand the ins and outs of it. And when this was introduced and I read it, and it made sense to me.
So,
oh yeah, I was balls deep.
So like for
balls deep.
For anybody out there,
I was so far gone, Brenda, and I admit it, and I totally own the shit and say that I was caught up in the hype of it. And I joined groups on Facebook and stuff, and I was introduced to other people and things like that. And then after a while is when I started to see the dark side of it. Yeah. And that's what I feel a lot of people don't know about, the dark side of this. When, you know, and this is with everything, when you know, obsess or you idealize a concept or an idea or a belief system, you know, it shows the shadow aspects, it shows the dark side, right? So as time went on, I started to see some wild shit in like the twin flame groups. For instance, I would see people post, oh, you know, my twin flame put a restraining order on me. No, I'm not bullshitting. I swear to you. I went in one of the groups, like this was years ago, and I was like, what? Yeah, he blocked me on all outlets. He put a restraining order on me. And I was like, yo, wait a minute. When you're like invading someone's life and privacy, and or there's people that, another thing I saw that was very common is people believing that celebrities that they've never met before were their twins. That was another thing that I saw too. And I'm like, okay, this is all right. Okay. You know, I mean, because I know there's instances where you can have a connection with somebody that you've never met in the flesh, but there has to be some sort of correspondence.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? This is a celebrity you ain't never met. They don't know you from a can of paint. And you're over here saying that this is your twin. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. And they believe.
No, and they do.
Their history into their background, and they'll say, oh my gosh, they lived just like I lived. Oh, and they had a dog just like I did.
Yes.
Oh, cats just like I love cats. Oh my God, that's my soulmate.
Yes, girl, let me tell you. Yeah, it just went really far down the rabbit hole, right? So you know the actor, what's his name from The Notebook? Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Did you hear that he had to go to court because he had a stalker? Oh, a female stalker? Yeah, so check this out. This was a couple of years ago. Like, guys, I got the receipts. I will bring the links down below. He had a stalker, right? And she was stalking his home. And, you know, he just got married, you know, his Eva Mendes, she's an actress too.
Yes.
You know, she just had her child with him, and she just came home from the hospital and finds this chick at her gate. Like, you know, and it just got crazy. And then when they went to court, you know, she testified and everything. And here's what she said. Oh, well, he's my twin flame. So I had to see him. So this is when shit got all the way crazy, and it just went far down the rabbit hole. Like I said, when it hit the mainstream was when that whole Ryan Gosling situation came about. And I remember like the groups were on fire, like the twin flame groups, they were going crazy about that. Some people were sympathizing with her, and they're like, you know, maybe he is her twin and he doesn't know. And then other people are like, wait, she's batshit crazy. She's a straight up stalker. He doesn't know her, and he invaded his privacy and his wife's privacy. Like, what's wrong with her? So it became a real divide.
Right. So a misconception.
Yeah.
Of names is all the way it's being interpreted by the people who are either reading it, hearing it, studying it, whatever you may think. But psychologists do believe in the concept of twin flame. And it's there is no proof, because there isn't any proof, but what they can see and observe is the correlation between two people.
Absolutely.
And that's what it boils down to, basically, the correlation between two people. Pluto once stated that twin flames comes from a soul broken in two parts, male and female. Mm-hmm. So it's not something that hasn't been brought up before. If it can go back to Plato's time, it's something that's always been in the concept of spiritualism, relationship, and just in general, a whole emotional aspect to human form, to human contact.
Yeah, human nature, right?
Human nature. So,
right.
For anybody out there that's listening right now, tell us your experience. You know, have you ever met your twin flame? How do you feel with that person? You know, how has it been for you? Are you still in contact with them? Are you not in contact with them?
Okay, so we actually got some comments here regarding that, Brenda. So Melissa, she said I believe I know my twin flame, but he's married to someone else. Okay, so that was said here. And then, yeah, and that's a thing we see a lot. As a reader, I have, encountered clients that were in relationships either with people that were married or feel connections to people that were married to others. And you see that also, I used to see that a lot in the twin flame groups too, that they would be married to someone else, and it happens,
right.
It happens. Either they're in a relationship with someone else or they're married to someone else and you're feeling that connection. But, when you're, crossing the line and you've got boundary issues and you're stalking the person and they're with someone else, I think there has to be a level of like ethics here. You have to draw the line somewhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, I know that the person that I consider my twin flame, he's in a relationship, a long-term relationship, lives with the person and everything. And we're still, good friends, you know what I mean?
Right.
But like I said, I know my boundaries with it. And I think that's where a lot of this gets so dark and quick. Because if someone who doesn't have a sense of boundaries takes this concept, they can become a stalker at a drop of a hat, like that, like Ryan Gosling's stalker. Obviously, there was a lack of boundaries there.
Yeah, there was at all.
Yeah.
But that also accounts for the person's psyche as well. Are they psychologically, fit? That's something that also has to be taken into consideration.
Right. Yeah.
Because one that has psychological issues will interpret twin flames completely from the way we're interpreting it. We're telling you the good, the bad, and the ugly
all day and every day, and twice on Tuesday.
And those people, unfortunately, are stuck on the good.
Right.
And that's the problem right there. So, it's all based on interpretation. That's why we like to share experiences of ourselves. And we would really love if you guys can share your experiences, because it also helps other people out there understand that you're not alone. We've all experienced the same situation. Absolutely. At one point or another.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So
This was a big chunk of my, I would say a big chunk of my awakening was being introduced to this and how this helped me grow. You know what I mean? Because it made me see my shadow aspects. Okay. And this is something that I also find is very common, which is, you know, learning about codependency or codependent tendencies. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, and you know, and like you said, the psychological and the emotional aspects and the attachment behaviors with it.
right,
A lot of people out there tend to use twin flame as a guise for unhealthy attachments, codependency, you
right,
know, and this is where, you know, it gets toxic, where it gets dark, where it gets troublesome. Because like I said, I used to see in the groups all the time and in the forums, you know, my twin flame, you know, we got in a fist fight, we fought, or you know, he curses at me, he screams at me, he talks down to me, or you know, he's a hardened criminal. I had people that were like, they believed violent criminals, you know, were their twins, and these are people that lie, cheat, and steal. And you know, fine, granted, you know, none of us are perfect, we're all flawed and we have our issues, but when there is abuse, psychological, physical abuse,
that
then
person and
yeah,
your soulmate.
then there's more, and that sort of stuff, it goes under the bracket of karmic thing, you know, rather than twin flame. I mean, but you know, like I said, because your twin flame is in essence is human. So they're gonna have human qualities, they're gonna have flaws, they're gonna have things that are wrong with them, granted. But like I said, if it's leaning toward your well-being, your physical well-being, then again, you have to draw the line somewhere. Because I had people tell me, you know, yeah, you know, he beats me, but he's my twin. And I'm like, say what? Do you hear yourself right now?
Well, because that's not what they want to.
And I'm not.
Those are people who want to face reality.
Right.
So they force themselves to believe that that's their twin, and that, you know, they have a major connection, and that the beatings are just an obstacle ready to go away sooner or later. Sooner when they're dead, or later when they're in the hospital and can't walk. But, you know,
right.
it's
And here's my thing, and Brenda, when I say this, I'm not judging, I'm not taking that person's experience away from them. If they
right,
believe this person is their twin, then again, like I said, this is an individualized experience, then that's their belief. They believe this is their twin, granted. However, then if it's come to a point where it's damaging to your physical well-being, to your emotional well-being, then perhaps at this point in time, this is a sign from the divine here that you need to start putting yourself first, and there needs to be healing involved.
right. And I agree. I totally agree.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I would tell clients when clients would come to me and they would tell me how toxic things have become between their soulmates or their twin flames. And I would, you know, suggest, because like I said, it's merely advising, you know what I mean? I would tell them, I said, I feel at this point in time, the focus should be on you and your healing, because there is a toxic, dangerous, physically, emotionally dangerous attachment here at this point in time that needs to be healed, you know?
Right.
And that's why a lot of times, you know, people get caught up in the romantic aspects once again,
Right.
and they forget the work that's involved, you know, healing work,
And
connecting with yourself on an intimate level. It
I think
becomes all about the other person and they forget about themselves.
that's what twin flames are about. Twin flames are, or is, for you to be able to heal and see the negative sides of you that you don't see yourself. So your twin will point out all your flaws and tell you what your flaws are, whether you like it or not, and you accepting those flaws to change it around. So your twin is trying to make you a better self of you. And that's the bottom line. They're literally trying to make you the better half.
A better version of yourself.
Which is what you do in turn, because you do that in return with them too. And that's what it boils down to. That's what we said from the beginning. Twin flames is not just a lover's aspect. It could be a sibling, it could be a friend, it could be a cousin, it could be the people that you least expect, because it's not always romantic.
Yeah.
So, and that's what a twin flame connection really is. It's not just, oh, I met the love of my life, because there's more to that.
Mm-hmm.
You can be a twin flame with someone, but everything else might not work.
Right.
And that's
why every soul connection, and this is what, based on my research and what I've read, like when I read the book that I was telling you about, The Journey of the Soul, right?
Yeah.
For Brian Weiss and all that. He talked about every soul connection has karma. Every single one.
Yes.
The twin flame connection is not exempt, ladies and gentlemen. If you do have a twin flame connection, if you believe in your heart of hearts that you do, trust and believe there is karmic aspects. And what is the remnants of that, right? How do you know? When there's painful aspects to it, when there's triggers, emotional triggers to this,
yes.
When you see, the flaws not only in them, but in yourself, when you see your own behaviors and when you see your own negative belief systems and patterns, those are all karmic aspects, guys. So every soul connection, this is something that has been taught by many masters, by many ideologies, for thousands of years. Karma is attached to the soul, right? Mm-hmm. And karma is passed on, from lifetime to lifetime. Okay. So sometimes we may, especially if you believe in reincarnation, right? If you believe in past lives, then a lot of times we are working out karma that is from a previous lifetime in this one. And every soul connection that you come across is helping you to work through that karma. You know what I'm saying? So this is something, Brenda, that I've noticed a lot. Like I've seen a lot of people just like, oh, because there's a twin flame connection that is exempt of all the ugliness and the karma and, that's attached.
But
it's not.
It's not true.
It's not. If anything, it's more of it involved. It's more on an intimate level, again, because this person mirrors.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's why there's always, this kind of us versus them thing that comes up, and this is a something that I've seen too, right? Like I said, the us versus them, like Jedi versus Sith when it comes to twin flames, like, I know you've heard about karmic, right? Karmics or karmic soulmates.
That's right. Yes.
If you're not with your twin, right? And this is the ideology behind karmic soulmates or karmics, is that if your twin flame is with someone else, then that's a karmic soulmate. It's not the twin because you're the twin there, but they're with someone at this point in time, so it's a karmic soulmate. But I've seen a lot of people and readers and spiritual, twin flame gurus out there, attach the karmic soulmate or the karmics to be this evil kind of demonic entity that has taken over their twin and is like, now this karmic person, and now I have to save them. And I've seen that. And I'm like, yo, you got to understand, free will is free will.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
If this person chooses to be with someone else or married to someone else, then that is their right. That is their free will to do so, you know, and that's their choice. Because has it ever occurred to you that perhaps this is part of the contract, that they are with this person in order to learn and grow? You know what I'm saying? And that's the, that's what, like I said, where the lines get blurred.
And to even elaborate further in the simplest way, a soul connection would be a big wheeler. Just imagine when you were small and you didn't know how to ride a bike, and your parents wanted to get you something to ride around in, and so they got you a big wheel because it has 3 tires and it's safe, right? Well, now you've gotten a little older, or you've gotten way too much experience to just stay with the big wheel. So guess what? Now you move on to a bike, but not yet. You're on a bike with training wheels because you have to learn how to ride a 2-wheeler. Now you've graduated. You don't need the wheels anymore. You don't need those training wheels anymore. Now you can just ride the bike on your own. Mm-hmm. Those 3 steps that I mentioned, well, the big wheeler was the soul connection. The training wheels is the twin flames connection. And now you riding the bicycle on your own, that's your partner for life. That's your life partner. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I explain it that way is because when you have a soul connection, you connect with different people, and you wonder why you have so many people that you're friends with one moment, next moment they're not there anymore. Those soul connections help to grow. That's why there's that term, people are like seasons. Some stay, some go.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So that's phase 1, the soul connections. Mm-hmm. Phase 2 is the twin flame connection, where now it's more intense because now you have a critic who mirrors you. Now you have someone that's teaching you.
Even if they don't want to be a critic, it's just that they show you yourself and you're like, it's because uncomfortable to say the least, right?
Of you. They want to see you as someone who's going to be above them, they put you on that pedestal. So now that you've experienced phase 1 and phase 2, the universe opens the doors and says, now you're ready to be on your own.
Yeah.
But that's once you've achieved and you've learned and understand that everything you went through in life was the process of you being your true self, of you being that better person. And you learned along the way with the people in your life, from your soul connections to your twin flames. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing about free will, the best part of it all. Some of those soul connections you will never see again. And there are some that will stay with you for a lifetime.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yes.
Same with twin flames. Mm-hmm. Some of them will go and marry off. And some will stay close to you.
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of free will.
Yeah.
I don't know if you agree with me, Chaz, but
yeah, because I do, because it's something that we need to understand, that is a part of the process. Free will is a part of our journey. We're going to make choices at our own free will, just like your twin or your soulmate or someone that you have a soul connection with. We have our own individualized journey and free will, and so do they. It's an important part of the process and understanding that. And I feel honestly, it's like a 50-50 even keel. There's fated aspects.
Yeah.
There's the fated, unexplained kind of divine aspects to it. Yeah. And then there's also the free will aspect. They go hand in hand.
Yes.
Because I think it has to do with, different levels of consciousness. The free will aspect, the day-to-day mundane aspects of it, that's the 3D. And then you get into the higher states like when you sense their energy, and when you're doing violet flame or meditation, or you dream with them, or you have a premonition, that's higher states, 4D, 5D, and beyond.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and we are, as a people, we're multidimensional beings. Therefore, the experience is going to be on different levels. But you have to acknowledge both. Okay? You can't say that there's only, there's only, fated aspects or destined aspects and no free will, or you just can't say it's all free will, because there's some things that are beyond our control when it comes to this.
Exactly. That's absolutely.
I think the key here is to have a balanced understanding of it. And sometimes, we're not always balanced. You know what I mean? I know a lot of times we see stuff, you have to find your center and you've got to stay balanced. But real talk, Brenda, we're not fucking balanced all day, every day. No, you know how many times I fall off the rail, where you fall off the rail? We're stressed out. We ain't balanced. We ain't got our zen.
Balance, what does that mean?
Right. We're not always gonna be, in the flow 24/7. We're gonna be thrown off kilter. We're gonna be triggered. We're gonna have things come up karmically in our lives.
Right.
But it's really about getting back to that understanding. You know what I mean? That
Right.
sometimes you have to surrender. You know what I'm saying? And you have to say, some things are beyond my control. I can't control everything. I can't control every outcome. And I think that's, And above all, you can't control other people and their lives and decisions.
Exactly.
So
we will all the way.
Right. So I think that's, part of the healing process. And this is what it was for me. I realized that I had to let go of a lot of the codependent ideas I had behind it, or attachments I had behind it. I had to let go of trying to control an outcome. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, again, this is a whole other person going on their own journey with their own free will. At some point I let go and I surrendered. I said, this person is going to be a part of me no matter what.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just gave it back to the divine. I said, I know no matter what, this person is an important part of my journey, just like I am for him. So I surrendered, Brenda. I did. And because of that is where I found peace and balance with this, And for those of you that are watching, we actually got a question, Brenda. So I think this kind of has to do with what I'm just saying now. So Angelina asked, and this is a very good question, Angelina. Yes. I know it may not be the same for everyone, but how do you understand the feeling of twin flame? What is that feeling? Honestly, it's different for everyone, right? But I would say, like, the generalized, the feelings or the way they explain it is someone that you feel an unexplained draw or, connection to. They talk about the whole the push-pull kind of dynamic where, sometimes the connection is so strong, you want to, like, run for the hills because it's too much, right? So if there's they talk about the running and the chasing. If there has been that karmic aspect with someone where, there's moments where you come together and it's awesome and blissful, and then it just gets, too intense, too crazy, and you guys just, run for the hills. When that kind of dynamic is involved, it's usually 9 times out of 10 a twin flame or soulmate connection, right?
I want to call it the BFF syndrome.
BFF?
BFF syndrome. You ever had BFF? Not a best friend, a BFF.
Okay, what does this stand for? What's the acronym?
So the best friend is the sister type of friend. The BFF is the hi bitch, we're going out this weekend syndrome.
Okay.
So,
All right.
so that the BFF syndrome consists of twin flames. Yeah, you guys party, hang out, and everything. But then, wait for it. There will be a week of fighting, arguing, not talking to each other, disagreeing on everything. You become my mini enemy. But the following week, I love you. Here's some roses. Besties.
All right. So in other words, yeah. So like very, it's kind of like
Multiple personalities.
like a bipolar.
Bipolar effect.
All right. Well, I mean, yeah, like the running and the chasing is something that you see a lot as far as the explanation of the dynamic, right? Like what goes on. But the feeling itself, Angelina, as far as I'm concerned, is a familiarity. Like for me personally, when I encountered it, it was like I knew this person. I never met them. This was the first time I saw them and met them. Because I actually met my twin in high school. So when I came across this person, I was like, I know him. And it was like I got hit like by a runaway train. Like I never forget that feeling. It was like butterflies to the 10th power. And it was just this knowing and this familiarity. It was unexplainable, period. Like I was like, I don't know how I know this person or why he feels so familiar, but it's like I knew him.
Yes, deep.
Right?
Deep feeling.
And then once we got the talking, I swear to you, it was like I knew this person my whole life. Like we just vibed on such a profound level. And we were just able to talk and talk. We were talking the whole period. And I never had such a natural kind of organic experience like that with anyone before. So I knew it was different. I knew. And then again, like you said, Brenda, when you get the pull, you're going to get the push, right? So for me, it just became uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to act like an ass in front of this person. So I'm just going to like keep my distance, and then it would be like, I'm in the hallway and I'm going to another class or whatever. And he'll just be like, hey, what's up, Chas? Where you going? And I'm like, oh, hey, hi. Yeah, I'm going to my class. See you later. And I'll just roll out. And I went through a phase where I was just super uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's an awkward moment.
Right? Yeah, because it's like you're so vulnerable. It's like you can't control yourself because it's just out there. There's this extreme vulnerability there. And I never encountered that with anybody. So like I was just like, oh hell no. And I was just like, I was keeping my distance. And I guess he noticed at one point, and then I realized, okay, why am I acting like this? I think because you get in your ego and you get in a space where, this is just my imagination. This person don't feel the same way I feel. I'm bugging. You know what I mean? So I would psych myself out and I would do that. But then we became such close friends. And it happened so very quickly too, within months. Like we were inseparable. And another thing that's attached to this, other people notice. You're gonna have people notice you too, and they're gonna start asking, "Are you guys a couple? Are you guys married?" Like, "Oh, your husband's so cute. Yeah. Oh, your girlfriend," and you'll be like, "This ain't my girlfriend. Oh, this ain't like what?" Like,
even without even noticing, you guys will start wearing the same colors without even noticing.
Yeah, like, stuff like that.
Because it's a
right. And finishing each other's sentences.
Yes, and that and that you guys look at each other. You guys both are on the same wavelength and know what you're talking about.
Yes,
because it happened to me. There was one time I had, and this was with a girl. It wasn't a guy, and I had a connection with this girl for a long time, which I feel like she was my twin flame, and we would look at each other when certain things would happen. We would just look at each other like, okay, let's go. We already knew. We already
Right?
uh,
Yeah. Oh,
happening. Okay, let's go.
yeah.
So it's that type of feeling. It's like I said, it's like best friend BFF.
Yeah.
It's
So
a
that,
BFF.
I mean, honestly, Brenda, that's what he was for me. You know, the thing is that, like you said, not every connection is lovers or romantic in nature starting out, because like I said, with my twin, I was never romantically involved.
Right.
Like we never even kissed before, but we were such close friends. It was so deeply intimate, but it wasn't like romantic. We were just best friends, and we knew each other on such a deep level. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I wish it went there, but I was young at the time. I was insecure, and I didn't know how to approach this, because my issue was, he's my best friend.
Right.
How do I tell him how I feel without compromising our friendship?
Yeah.
Because that was the last thing I wanted. I didn't want to lose him. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he didn't feel the same way, you know, I don't want things to be awkward and then all of a sudden we're not in contact with each other. That was my biggest fear.
Yeah.
Was losing our friendship, because that above all is what I valued the most out of this, because I never had anyone who I could really trust
and relate
feel safe with on that level. At the time, I didn't have nobody like that. I never knew what that was, to be honest with you. And like, I didn't want to lose that. So I think that's why I never approached the romantic aspect of it. But I'm not gonna lie, at some point, I couldn't take it anymore, and I just had to put it out there, because it was killing me. It was killing me. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't eating. Oh my God, I had a bad, girl. I had a bad. So I felt like, you know, whatever the outcome, I know that we're going to be okay. Right.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I finally built the guts to come clean and, you know, and tell him,
Okay.
And he just up and moved away. He moved. I know he was moving. He told me he was moving, but he moved abruptly and I never saw him again.
That's messed up.
Right when I was gonna tell him everything, right when I was gonna come clean, he moved. It was devastating, you know.
I hear you.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brenda. You were gonna say something?
I don't talk to my twin flame either, so that's too bad. Yeah, he became very annoyed with me, so. So this, but
it happens, because I'm like, I don't, you know, really talk to him either like that, but you know, we're friends on social media, of course, but I haven't spoken to him. I haven't spoken to him in a minute either.
You guys are at least friends on social media. There is no connection with
but I mean, that it tends to happen. It is what it is, you know what I mean? And if you guys are meant to come in contact again, you will, you know, but that's where the whole surrendering aspect has to come in. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to let it be what it is.
Right.
And that's why there's so much issues with the control aspect, or trying to control the outcomes here. You gotta let go. You gotta let go, and you gotta surrender and let it be where it is and how it is.
If it's not meant to be.
Right.
You know, thinking about it really good, I would definitely not want to live or marry my twin flame.
And listen, you're keeping it real. You know, most people, like I said, when they romanticize it, they want to reach union. But you're saying, nah, I'm good, because that's too much for me. Like,
I can't handle myself. Really think I want somebody else like me.
I can't handle myself. I can't handle myself on a day-to-day basis, let alone handle a mirror of myself.
Listen, I wake up and I can literally see myself in the mirror when I wake up, and I'm like,
right? Oh my gosh, yes, right.
I can't stand myself.
Yeah,
I really can't stand myself, so I don't want somebody else.
I'm a lot, and I know you probably feel like I'm a lot, let alone somebody who mirrors me is a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like it's too much. It's too much.
Yes, I
But
can't.
I think in essence, you know, like I said, when he up and moved, long story short, I reunited with him on social media like 10 years later. And we started a correspondence. And at that point is when I came clean about everything. And I told him how I felt all those years ago. And I unleashed the fury and told him everything. And, you know, it wasn't me expecting anything from him. It was cathartic. You know what I mean? It was a release. Like I held that in for so many years. I just told him everything and I let it go. You know what I mean? And he was just like, what? Why didn't you tell me all those years ago? And I'm like, because I tried and you moved away. I ain't never heard from you again. Like, you know, it was like beyond my control, but I did want to tell you. And, you know, I remember what he said. Like, he said, you know, above all, Chas, I always just wanted you to be happy no matter what.
Yeah.
Whether it's with me or someone else, all I ever wanted for you was your happiness. You know,
and that's what that's how most of us feel when it's your twin. You want to see them happy.
Yeah.
You don't want to see them, you know, go through hell or, you know, just suffer. You don't want that. You want to see them happy. And I think that's what we walk away with. And that's where we become our better selves. The minute we start hoping that whoever we've had in our lives has a good one after us.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
That's what helps you to grow as a person spiritually.
Right.
That grow when you are self-aware of accepting someone else's happiness.
Yes.
Because there's people that are happy for you, but deep down inside, they're dying, they're mad because it's not them.
Right.
And that's why you don't grow spiritually when you're like that.
Yeah. And I feel like that's true. That's the truest essence of unconditional love. Whether you can still love, when you can still love that person, whether or not they're with you or not, that's how you know. Okay. When you could, like I said, when you could surrender to the fact that they're with someone else, but the love is still there, that's unconditional love. That is love in the purest, most highest form.
Yes, I agree.
And let's be honest, we haven't always been in that space. I know I haven't. There was moments where I didn't feel like that. Like I wanted to be with this person, you know, with every bit of my being. And, you know, I was like obsessively pining over this person 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And then I realized that this was taking away from me and my experience and my journey, you know, like the love is always going to be there. You know what I mean? The connection is always going to be there, but I got to start choosing me now. And I, like you said, at this point, Brenda, that's when my training wheels came off.
See?
My training wheels came off and I chose me and I chose to pursue my journey on my own. I surrendered. I let it be what it is. He's living his life to his fullest ability and I am too. And I'm going forward. You know what I'm saying? That's when it was, you know, my training wheels, boop, they came right off.
Does anybody else have any experiences out there they want to share before we start dabbling into the cards?
Oh, thank you, Angelina. She said, thank you for explaining. You two are so knowledgeable. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Oh. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Angela.
Oh, there goes Lisa. Okay. Hey, Lisa. I was hoping you'd pop in. Yeah. And Lisa, the one that actually inspired us to do this episode was actually Allie, because she mentioned soulmates.
That's right. Yeah.
The last episode, our last live.
Yeah.
So I that got my wheels turning, you know, and I said, you know, I really feel like we should discuss this because I feel like this is a subject matter that tends to plague a lot of us, you know, especially, you know, when it's attached, when you know, it is attached to toxic or unhealthy relationships.
Where the whole cord cutting thing comes in.
Right. Yes. And and I think now that we're talking, now that you mentioned, you know, cord cutting, and I said this, well, I think the last episode I said this about cord cutting, how it's a process. You know,
Yes.
it's not some quick formula that is, you know, just gonna overnight, okay, do the XYZ, you cut the cord. No,
Right.
I think a lot of it has to do with the self and you know, self-reflection, allowing the process to be where it is. And I think the biggest process, the foundation of cutting a cord, whether you want to cut a cord with someone you have a soul connection with, or if you feel you need to cut a cord currently with your twin or your soulmate for whatever reason, I think, again, and not to sound redundant, surrendering, guys. Surrendering.
But here's where I feel, even though it's already been explained and it has its own its definition, I feel that cord cutting would be more useful in a magic spell, because soulmates and twin not based on magic, right? So why use something that would be more useful in a magic situation than in something that has to play out? Because cord cutting, you have to do a ritual, right? It's a process.
Mhm.
But when you're with your twin flame connection, there's no ritual. There's no ritual. That's two souls talking to each other and engaging in the physical form, not in magic. So I feel like, and I know that cord cutting was already defined for that, but I feel that it should be more of a magical aspect for rituals or potions or whatever you want to use, than something that has to play out. Because the twin connection, soul connection, that has to play out until the very end. Mm-hmm. If it's something meant for you to learn from that person, it will play out. So I'm a little bit torn with that whole, cord cutting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying, because it is in itself an alchemaic, ritual. It's alchemy, it's magic, it's severing, and what is, alchemy and magic in itself? It's an intention, an intention to do something and to tamper in itself, using a ritual to kind of create an outcome, right? So in essence, yeah, I do feel like the cord cutting itself is very alchemaic.
Yeah.
So I could see how you would figure, and that's true. And I think in essence, that's a valid point. That is a real valid point.
I'm gonna get backlash for that. I know I'm gonna
listen, like I said, this is how we roll. This is our platform. This is open discussion. This is food for thought. So if we ruffle feathers, hey, it is what it is. Again, this is open discussion.
I see it, and what I see is you can't mix magic with something that already is being played out by the universe.
Right. And I think in itself, Brenda, it's about your intention.
Thank you. Yeah.
Right. Because what is the root, whether it's magic outright, whether it's alchemy, mm-hmm. or not, it starts with your intention.
Yeah, exactly.
If you truly want to cut a cord,
yes,
then you will.
Right.
But if you're just trying to control an outcome, or you're just trying to find a quick fix and not allow the process to go forward the way it's supposed to, then yeah, you're tampering with that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you're really truly at a soul level in that space,
Yes.
it'll go down, because at that point you're sending that signal out to the universe. I'm ready to cut this cord. I feel like I've learned all the lessons and all the karmic aspects to this, and I'm ready to release it.
And then here's
another
thing. I'm full of controversy. Here's another thing.
Bring it on.
You cutting that
how
cord.
we roll.
you cutting that cord because you've had it. How do you know that it was ready to break apart? Do you know the back? You guys are gonna hate me. You guys out there are gonna hate me. You're gonna be pissed off, not knowing if the reason why you're going through what you're going through right now is for prematurely cutting that cord.
Right. I've said it too, brother. How many times we're talking? I'm like, and I'm like, is it really time yet? Like just generally when we're talking about it.
Because you really don't know. You think you're ready. You think you're ready. But if something continues going through, it's because it's not time yet. Because you still haven't made the right choice, or you haven't learned what it is, or vice versa. Maybe the other person hasn't learned yet. And although you're tired of it, that does not mean that it's time to quit.
Right, exactly.
So you're over here cutting something prematurely, and that's the reason why now you're in the same situation that you're in, pissed the hell off, not understanding what you did, what went wrong, because you don't get the fact that you don't control that. That's part of the process. That's part of you growing up and understanding what life is about.
Right.
Because today, not even the top gurus know what life is about.
Right. No, we're, honestly just learning and growing as we go along. And that I'm so glad you said that, because, I always put this out there, it's a quote by Bruce Lee, right? Bruce Lee said, a true master is always willing to learn.
That's right.
And that is an ideology, that is a belief system that has stood with me. I'm always learning and growing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I get put onto things and I want to share them, and I want to share insights and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, I'm still learning and growing, and we all are collectively.
Yes.
Even if we, feel we mastered certain things in our lives, that's wonderful. But there's always more things to know. There's more things to learn. There's more lessons out there. Okay. And we're going to keep going through that process until we're 6 feet under.
Exactly.
Or we're ashes to ashes, dust to dust, whatever you prefer, whether you want to be buried or you want to be cremated. Either way, we're going through this process till we cross over, till we ascend to the other side, right?
Graduate.
Right. So
graduate.
That is what's the most important thing here, and that's why, I'm always open to, new concepts, new ideologies. I let people, I'm about living and let live. I will not sit here and tell people, oh, do this, and this, or, or try to impose things onto people. That's never been my bag. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about that life.
Yeah.
So I just think when it comes to this, I think to close it off, Brenda, because we went in for like an hour, because I knew we were going to have a bunch of stuff to talk about concerning this. Again, guys, when it comes to soulmates and twin flames, again, it's a very intimate, very individualized experience, but to truly connect with someone on a divine level, you have to do it with yourself first.
Yes.
It starts with you.
Say it to the people in the back that didn't hear.
It starts with you. Okay?
Definitely.
If you're not in a space where you can intimately connect with yourself, body, mind, and spirit, and face your demons and flaws and vices and addictions and all the shit that comes with you,
yep,
then you can't have that sort of connection outwardly with, with a twin or soul, mate, or however you correlate it. Again,
Exactly.
the true essence of twin flame and soulmate is connecting with your deepest, truest, most divine self.
Yes, I agree.
So we're just gonna leave it there for the time being. We'll probably have a part 2 of this at some point.
Yeah.
And
Melissa says, I believe Brenda's one of my soulmates. What do you think, Brenda?
Mama,
Of course.
I believe that too, Brenda. I feel like we're soul family. I really do.
Oh, yes, we are.
Yeah.
Like, I've known Melissa since, what was it, first grade, kindergarten? First grade, I think it was. First grade, second grade, something like that. And, we've always, even though we're like miles apart, like literally miles apart, we've always maintained contact. Every now and then, on and off, we'll just go back to communicating back and forth.
Oh.
Yeah, and you know how ancient I am, so.
Yeah, we don't want to disclose our ages right now. Like, we're gonna keep that on the DL over here. So.
Like,
we look good though. We look good. Like,
it's the witchy. It's the juice.
I still get carded on occasion, so that boosts my ego at times.
Special juice.
Hi Fiona. Fiona is tuning in. Hello.
Hi Fiona.
Everybody. Angela. Hello, Angela. Yeah, hey peoples. So yeah, so all right, so you want to do some readings? Or
yeah, I'm ready for it.
Okay, so
my modern witch deck.
Ooh, okay.
And ours are so pretty.
So guys, so for everyone that's watching and for those who are going to be watching later on, watching the recording of this, we have a request that you comment I subscribed in the comments. Put down I subscribed, right? And Brenda and I will have a special love message for you. So comment that below and we'll send those out to you. But you have to put in that comment, I subscribed. Okay. So yeah. So I just wanted to tell you guys that. Or if anybody that's watching has a specific question they want to ask, and we could look into it, with the cards and everything, let us know. All right. Or if you just want to share your ideas about, again, your stories about soulmates and twin flames. So
even a topic for next week. Anything you guys want to touch bases on?
Ooh,
you can email us or drop it in the comments and say, hey, I want to know more about this, or what does this mean, and we'll be more than happy to explain it to you guys and even elaborate more. And in all fairness, in all honesty, we like interaction.
Yeah, absolutely. I do.
Because we enjoy it. We enjoy others. We enjoy, giving advice, and anything that you would like to elaborate on or even know about. Like I said, join us, tune in, ask your questions. We're not embarrassed about sharing anything, and I think you can see that by now.
Right. No, we just go in. Oh, Brenda, I wanted to share the results. I made a poll, right? I put it in the group today, and I asked them what their thoughts were of soulmates and twin flames. All right. So I want to give the results of the poll.
Sure.
Right. So 60% of the people said, in the group, that they have many soulmates, but one twin flame.
Wow.
Right? So yeah. That was 60% of the people that voted in the poll. Then we've got 20% that said they never met their twin or their soulmate. And then we got another 20% that said I don't believe in twin flame, or I don't believe in the ideology of it. So yeah, so that was the results. So
That is interesting, huh?
right? Yeah, like 60%, more than half said that they have multiple soulmates,
Right.
one twin. Yeah.
But I would like to know from that percentage, divide it, and how many men thought that way, and how many women thought that way. Because we're always thinking that it's the females that are the emotional creatures, the ones that give more. But what if there's some guys out there that have that heart pumping and are true romantics? And if there's any guys out there that are actually true romantics and really enjoyed this topic and want to bring some insight to whatever they went through, by all means, hit us up. So I think we have Melissa and Angela who have subscribed already. So we'll be dropping you girls a love message.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, anybody else that's willing to go ahead and subscribe to get their free love message, do it now.
Right. And then just like I said, you guys got to comment. Even if you're watching later on, people that are watching later, watch the video at, some other time, not live, put it in the comments. I subscribed and we got you. We'll send you a special love message. Okay.
Yes.
So, all right. Yeah. So you just want to do like a general, Brenda, like for everybody, like a divine masculine or divine feminine reading for soul connection, soulmate, twin flame energy?
Well, I mean, why don't we let them choose? See what they want to do.
Yeah, I'm looking in the comments now. Okay, so Angela subscribed. Thank you. Angelina, thank you. Okay. So I actually wanted to pull out a specific deck today and I forgot. to grab it from my room, but it's okay.
Like my Martin Witch. I don't know. I grabbed it and I said I needed to take my Martin Witch out.
Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna go with Old Faithful here with my tarot. So
I gotta go ahead and get myself some more tarot decks because they do wear out.
okay.
I like my Martin Witch. They're just like a little bit too much for me to grab. So
yeah, it's pretty big. It's bigger than a normal deck.
Yeah,
because I got a small one here. So all right, so who was the first one here? Let's go down the line. I think Melissa was first, Brenda.
Okay.
Melissa, then we got Angela, and then Angelina.
Melissa, do you want like a love message, or do you want anything you want to choose? Anything you want to think of, you can think of. Any question you want.
That's okay, Fiona, and that's perfectly fine. So yeah, we just did like a whole hour on like soulmates and twin flames and soul connections. So now we're just doing some readings for everyone who would like some extra insights or personal insights to their connections and so on and so forth. That's what we're doing. So all right, so are you ready, Brenda? I'm still shuffling.
Okay. I was waiting to get an answer from her. If she wanted, what kind of questions she wanted to ask, or if she wanted us to do a general.
Yeah, well, I mean, she put I subscribed and it was a special love message. So I guess, we'll just go off the dome with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love message from Lisa.
Okay, so I'm already getting something and I'm just shuffling. I'm getting for you, Melissa, like, don't get discouraged. I'm sensing that there's this, discouragement right now concerning love and aspects of love and as a whole, that there's moments where you get very discouraged with it because you have so much love to give, you feel, and you feel like either A, you don't get that back as you should, or you give more than you receive. Okay. So I'm getting very strongly like, don't get discouraged. And if you feel like you're giving too much of yourself to anyone at this time, then maybe you should pull back a little and, either A, ask for that reciprocity, that give and take. You know what I mean? If you find that more people are taking than giving back, then it might be a sign that you may need to cut certain ties or have it, heart to heart with these people and tell them how you feel. Like, I feel like I give more than I'm getting back, and like I said, this can be in all aspects. This could be, with your loved ones. This could be with friends. This could be, whether it's a romantic partner. But again, sometimes we give so much of ourselves, it becomes physically draining. Okay. So, all right. So that's what I'm getting overall. And let me see what card. Yeah, I got 7 of Pentacles. So I think right now you're just kind of waiting, like having some watchful waiting going on. Like you're waiting and hoping that things will get better. And another aspect of this is like, don't feel like you have to do anything in particular or jump through any type of hoops at this given time, because the love that you're seeking is coming to you. So now it's just a matter of like, you planted those seeds and it's right now just waiting for them to grow. Okay. And just like, yeah, that's why I feel like that's where you are right now. And that's a good space. You know what I mean? And I know at times it's like, it could be lonely. It could feel a little isolating, but at the end of the day, you know that you've done a good amount of work and you will reap the rewards of that for sure. What you got, Bren?
She basically I'm sorry, I'm just getting so many things that I'm getting that I'm probably gonna have to contact her later on for more personal approach. Yeah, she okay, so she's gonna overcome a lot of the emotional part of her life right now. She has some internal conflicts to resolve, but it's gonna come to that moment where she's gonna make a breakthrough and get stronger about it. And then the flow of relationship can literally process or flourish.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, there are some internal healings that she has to go through. And the rest will follow through.
Okay.
But I'll contact her later on with some other stuff.
Yeah.
And
it sort of goes hand in hand, like what I was saying too. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. So, Melissa, well, I'll grab you later on.
Y'all be in touch.
Who's next?
Okay, we got Angela next. Okay. So. You know what's weird? It's like some of my cards are reversed. And I went through my cards and they're none of them were reversed. Now some of them are reversed.
Angela?
Yeah.
Angela wants to love. Can I ask what do I need to know with my twin flame connection, please? Oh,
Okay. So she got a specific. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okie doke.
Well, I can tell. I already got one card out, and it's a reverse.
Yeah, I got reversals too. Well, the first thing I got is patience, Angela. Like right now, you're gonna need some patience. Right now, I feel like there's been turbulence as of lately. There's been a lack of communication. There's kind of been, you know, you in one direction and him in another kind of thing. There's a disconnect I'm getting right now between the two of you guys. So I feel like that's kind of been a hurdle lately. And I'm also picking up about timing. There's timings off on stuff. I don't know if you guys made plans recently. Getting specifically within the past 2 weeks, there was plans that were made, and for whatever reason, they didn't fall through, or there was an issue or miscommunication or some sort.
You know what's the major problem? It's the tension.
Mhm.
There's a sort of tension that's causing them to just complain or fight about any small things. The smaller, so what you're picking up is absolutely correct in there. But it's tension buildup that they have going on that's causing those little arguments to turn into a war.
Right. It's like a disconnect, I'm feeling like, and I think it's because it's like you're both being pulled in two different directions. And I feel like you're the grounded one in the connection, and you're always trying to ground the situation. But in the process, it takes a lot out of you. You know what I mean? It becomes physically and emotionally draining for you. So I feel like this time, the best thing to do, I got Knight of Swords here. I think the best thing to do is just be clear and concise about the things that you need to say at this point in time. You know how a lot of times we drop subtle hints, like we, make these subtle hints and we figure that they'll get the memo, or they'll get the idea of what we're trying to say. This isn't the time for subtlety. I'm getting for you, Angela. This is a time for you to go straight for the jugular, and not in a sense of like, being, rude or borderline disrespectful, but just getting to the point. No beating around the bush. At this time, you just need to be straight up with him and let him know where you stand and how you feel about things, and certain things that have been bothering you. And yeah, so that's what I feel needs to happen. It's more about getting straight to the point, making your feelings and your ideas and things known. Okay? Just fearlessly just going for it. Because that is, and then of course it's swords. So a lot of this is communication. So it's got to be you that kind of sets this momentum going, because again, when it comes to twin flame, you guys mirror each other. So if you're not being fully clear on things, he's not going to be fully clear. So it's just going to be that bouncing back and forth of miscommunication. Once you get there, once you make your point, once you get clear, you know what I mean? And no holds barred about it, you're going to get that back.
And that's what I was mentioning earlier previously about the whole, upside down, topsy-turvy type of relationship that twin flames go through. That's why I can't live with somebody that's my twin flame. Like, massacre, just blood all over the place.
It's too much.
Much. I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready.
But yeah, for Angela, I'm getting here it's just a waiting game, basically, because there's something that you guys have to literally learn from each other before, you know, a breakthrough comes out, and then it'll be peaceful, and the conflicts will end. But it's something that you guys are not learning from each other. That's why you have to like literally sit down and like, well, basically like Chastity said, be firm about the words that you expel to him. Be very firm, you know, let him understand how you feel and where you are coming from with all this. And then things will clear up even more for the both of you. But for right now, even if you wish him away to the Pringles factory to never come back.
The Pringles factory.
The Pringles factory. I don't even know why I'm mentioning Pringles. I must be hungry.
You're making me hungry now. My mouth just literally watered. Like you said, Pringles. I was like, ah.
There's literally no advertisement over here for Pringles. I'm not getting
yeah, we're not.
Or
we're not endorsing. We're just hungry.
We need to do another episode with wine.
Oh yes.
But I want to take a poll. So how many of you want us to take, or the next episode to be with wine?
Oh,
and then
gosh.
we can literally all share a glass of wine. Like you guys will have your wine, we'll have our wine, and go ahead and do a recording, another live recording.
I'm with it because I have bottles of wine that I have yet to open. So I'm with it. I'm totally down for that.
But yeah.
Fiona says sponsored by Pringles. Now we're gonna have to put a logo in the corner. Oh, okay. Sorry, Angela. All right.
So who's next?
I think we got Angelina. Angelina put I subscribe, so
yeah.
So I think that's a Oh, okay, Angela. You're very welcome, my love. All right, so all right, for Angelina, what we got? Angelina, I'm just picking up that there's a curiosity. I think there's a time, this is time for you to like really explore yourself and the aspects of love and different. I think you want to put yourself out there, but you still hold back in a lot of ways. So the message that I'm getting very strongly from spirit is just to put yourself out there. Like it's time, you know. Not to say like, you know, go to a bar and like just, you know, the first guy you see just be like, hey, how you doing? No, none of that. But just, you know, from an energetic standpoint, like just get in that space, that mindset of like, you know, I'm ready for something, you know, I'm ready for something worthwhile. And I want to explore the possibilities. You know what I mean? So
you know,
that's what I'm getting here.
You know, funny, I'm getting her like if she was a Capricorn vibe, even though she's not. I don't think she is, but
yeah, see, look, I got my first reverse card. I got Knight of Wands reverse. So I get you're super shy, Angelina, and you have a hard time just opening up and putting yourself out there. And yeah, my dear, it is time.
and I'm getting that she just doesn't believe in love. She doesn't believe that love exists, and
she's skeptic.
Yeah, and she's a very strong little girl or adult. I don't know. Because I'm getting she she's a strong young lady whose mind is all on money. She wants to make money. She wants to be
Or you get earth sign vibes.
yeah,
Practical.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting that strong vibe of being an independent boss woman.
Right. And I think that's what tends to happen, you know, when you have a practical, grounded nature about you, the flights of fancy of love and lovey-dovey stuff, it kind of takes the back burner because you want to focus on the tangible things.
Yeah.
But I feel at this point in time that aspect is something that needs to be explored, and it's an aspect that you need to just put yourself out there with, in the sense of being open to it. Like I said, the Knight of Wands is the explorer. This is a Sagittarius card. So the Sagittarius is the explorer of the zodiac. Like, he's always searching for a new adventure. And I think that's what it is. This is a new adventure. And I know it may be uncomfortable and it may be scary to delve into the unknown, but this is going to help you to learn so much more about yourself in the long run.
Yeah.
So I think it's all about shifting perspective for you, and just allowing yourself to open up to this aspect. You know, a lot of times we get cynical, we get skeptical, you know, because a lot of times our egos convince us like, nah, I don't want to put myself out there and get myself hurt. You know, you have all these reservations. But, you know, at the end of the day, if you're not going out there, you're not truly living. You know what I mean? So, and again, life is about growing, you know, learning and growing. And you have to be out there in order to make that happen. So
we have viewers that, because they don't want to be known that they're on the live chat, but we have viewers that are dying to get their questions asked, because I'm getting like a ton loads, just downloads. So weird.
Okay, well, guys, speak now, forever hold your peace. Or if you want to reach out to us in private, whether it's me or Brenda, then that's okay too. Like, if you want to drop us a DM or email us, you know, all the information again is going to be down below in the comments. If you want to reach out to us privately, that's fine too. All right. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. No one else has really come forward. Do you just want to pull a general card for everyone that's sort of hiding?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. All right. So.
I don't know why I'm getting Ruben. Ruben,
a name, Ruben?
Ruben, the name Ruben. If you don't speak, I can't answer.
I had a crush on a guy in the 5th grade named Ruben. He was so hot. He was an 8th grader and I was a 5th grader.
Are all Rubens good looking or no?
I don't know. It's just a thing. Because he was like an obsession of mine in the 5th grade. I used to write his name in my notebook with hearts and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And he was so nice to me, even though he was in the 8th grade.
Yeah.
He used to have a class in my homeroom right after I would come out of homeroom. He would come in, and you know, he was real popular at school, and so he would always just come up to me and give me a hug, and he would just be so sweet, and I was just like, oh my god, I was like so like head over heels.
You had the most interesting
Girl, listen. And if you want to drink next week, you want me to drink wine, the stories will be nonstop. I won't shut up. Don't even get me started. It'll be some shit if I'm drinking wine.
I shouldn't say.
I will tell you some crazy stories, like, and share it with you, okay?
Have a couple of glasses of Moscato, and I will be singing like a canary. definitely.
We might get into trouble. I don't know. I mean, I might have a glass or two, but I think that'll be my limit. I think if I drink too much, I might act a fool. I don't know. But anyway.
Or say things.
So, all right. So let's.
Is he cheating on me? No, but he will today, baby.
Oh gosh.
And so.
All right. So. Okay, so the general message for everyone that's tuning in, just overall, and some of you that may be hiding out there, is the Seven of Wands. Oh, you got the Devil card. So I think there's like an inner turmoil or a struggle, or you're struggling with certain I think you're struggling with certain belief systems. I feel like you have a way of living, and a way of going about your life, and people are protesting that. So you're in a place where you feel like you have to be protective of your stance right now.
You're being an ass.
Yeah. So I feel like there's people that are like feeling protective, like I need to protect myself and what this is. And I mean, from a love aspect, from what we're talking about today, I think it's you holding dear to what you believe concerning this connection, whether it's twin flame, soulmate, whatever the case may be. It's you holding on to that, and you're willing to fight for your beliefs concerning this connection right now. So that's what I'm picking up, that there's opposition. There's strong opposition right now. But you're ready to fight. You're ready to, you're ready, guns blazing for whoever comes at you. And that's the thing, because at the end of the day, this is your experience. And no one else is going through this process but you. I mean, people are gonna have opinions and ideas and tell you what you should do or should not do. But truth be told, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them. So you have to trust yourself, trust the process, and fight for what you believe. Fight for what you feel is true to you. Absolutely. So
yeah, but that's the thing. I'm not what that whole selfish, I'm first me, then me, always me attitude. Okay, to others is becoming a problem because it's like it's becoming egotistical, self-absorbed type of vibe. And then that means you'll be pushing a lot of people away, even the people that you really want by you. So defend yourself, but defend yourself in a way where others are not labeling you or causing conflict or, making things harsher for yourself. For the most part, I would say what you've been holding back on for fear, that's resolved. That's going to be resolved. You definitely don't have to worry about any outcomes to the situation. So
sort itself out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got the devil. I mean, I got the Seven of Wands, but you got the devil. So I feel like that combination, I feel it could be a battle with the ego, because the devil also represents our egos, like our baser egoic energy. So there could be a battle of the ego going on, whether it's with you or someone that you have a connection with. Right now, there could be a battle of egos going on.
Yeah.
Or you might find yourself in an egoic space and not even be aware. You know what I mean? So this might be something that you could even be oblivious to. Well, it's telling, Spirit is telling you now, Yes, fight for what you believe, but don't make the basis of it, from your ego, from an egoic standpoint. Make it more from a soul level, something that you truly believe, rather than reacting out of ego. So I agree with you on that, Brenda. Absolutely. So, all right, guys. So I think we're gonna wrap it up. Like, we literally went 2 hours today. We didn't expect to go on this long, but I feel like everything that was said today needed to be said. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for everyone who's participated in our polls and everyone that's part of, the group. Shout out to the tribe. You guys are awesome. We love you guys. And yeah, we're just going to keep, busting out content and sending more information and things out to you guys. And yeah, and again, sharing insights. So,
and like I said, drop us ideas. You guys, anything you guys want to talk about, know about, want us to elaborate more on, give us a shout out.
Absolutely.
Drop it down, and
holla at your girls.
Yeah, have a little section just for that.
All right, guys. So until next week, peace.
Adios. Many blessings. Bless you guys the whole week. Bring in the money. That's gonna be the new chant. Bring in
the love and the love. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, everyone.